Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the bold. To the Kisumu people, William Samoei Ruto, our president, is coming home. I am so glad on this. This information has been around, and even if you check Twitter, it's trending. By the way, when William Ruto goes to Kisumu, I promise you that I'll do that analysis in Kisumu. I will go with him so that we can really understand the mood of the people. After that swearing in, there is a United Nations General Assembly. I think that is going on until 27th September. So William Ruto will fly out of the country to attend it. I think it is in US, if I'm not wrong. Then when he comes back, according to the report, is that Ruto will fly to Mombasa, and I suspect, I think maybe to follow up on the Mombasa port issue. Remember that directive to take back a bit of activities from Naivasha dry port to Mombasa. Something that shocked me is at the campaign trail, Ruto was not so vocal about this issue of the port. In fact, the person who spoke passionately about the port was Musalia Mudavadi. Then it's reported that after Mombasa, he will then go and tour Kisumu later in the month. This is a development that is coming amidst a very heated conversation I see people talking about Luo consciousness coming up. Ledama Olekin at one point was saying that rebellion can emerge from regions that feel isolated. And I think this isolation is in the context of legitimacy. People who question the legitimacy of the government of the day. And there have just been a lot. Where William Ruto sits in State House, there are now classified reports, intelligence reports on what is happening in every part of the country. And so from this desk, in my bold studio here, I want to categorically say that any other move, if and the tour to Kisumu is really well thought. When finally it will happen, it must be well thought. There is a question that comes up. Before we look at that question, Kisumu governor, in the wake of that, Kisumu governor Anyang' Nyong'o organized a meeting where Raila is going to meet some stakeholders, I think, in what was called as a party, homecoming party, on 17th Saturday in a Kisumu hotel. I have been wondering about that meeting, and my position has been that Raila needs to rest and just needs to liaise of it too. Just keep quiet and just take a rest. But then it seems that there is a bit of interconnection between what that Raila is going to do. During inauguration, he spoke and said he was not going to attend. He was out of the country, had serious issues to look at, and promised that when he comes back, he's going to give direction to Azimio supporters. Many people are asking, why is Raila going to talk to Azimio supporters? And of course, I have seen preemptive statements of when people want to oppose the government, military opposition of government, and so they'll do it themselves. But I think it's misguided to criticize the fact that Raila is going to give a direction to his supporters, because the 8 million people who still wants to hear what he says, whether he's going to play a position or is going to tell them to support William Ruto, at the end of the day, there will be a direction. Who knew? The handshake between Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta really came at a time that no one thought it would come. And please don't get me wrong, I am not praying for a handshake. I don't want that. And I think even Raila should not think of that direction. Now, question: should Luo Nyanza or will Luo Nyanza benefit from Ruto's regime? My answer is yes, and my answer is no. Guys, this question is very tricky and very critical because I believe that even in the previous regime, in the previous governments, with now the constitutional, the devolutional dispensation, the devolved units, there is a lot of potential that the county governments can exploit to empower the people. And in terms of the village development, MP just has a CDF that is capped to what they can do, infrastructural, shule, hapa na pale, basari, just that. That is an MP. I think same na Mama County. I'm not sure about it. Senate do not have any kitty. Then the governor have 15% of the national cake sitting with him, and the governor can implement. Then member of parliament will, what else members of parliament, whatever member of parliament is going to bring to the people will be purely on lobby. So if you are close to President Uhuru Kenyatta, Uhuru Akuje, not, oh my goodness, of President William Ruto Akuje, you whisper one of these things need to be done, then order, and that is done. That is it. And personally, I see this. Governors must work and should work with William Ruto to help our villages. Because the county assembly and the national assembly is having the legislative, the oversight role. And if they do that oversight role diligently, they will still play the opposition. But all the county government, I don't know, this might be controversial to me, might be controversial to many people, but I think the governor specifically, let the member of parliament go to parliament and oppose and criticize and do that. Even a county government, you can oppose, you can criticize in your personal capacity, but I don't think you should disassociate. Why? 85% of the cake has remained with the national government. Look at that, is it. And now there is the county and the national government, it's interdependence, even though there is constitutional framework on how the two devolved units are working. So I believe, and let's just use a good example. If the president comes to your village, comes to attend an event, na 2 days before, maybe sometime 1 month before he comes, barabara imetengenezwa, amepitia hiyo barabara. When he leaves and comes back to State House, that road remains and it's used by the people in that place. So the president will not carry that road and go with it. If he comes and in the market, wakasema before he comes, tulazima tujenge choo hapo kwa hii soko tufanyele. When he will come and leave, just his presence is enough because something has happened. And through coming, he can also see things physically and ask, ile ni nini? What can we do? Na ifanyike. And that is how sometimes things work. So I want to look at it in a very progressive manner. Even though this is, I know someone who is close to president is listening. I think, and intelligence should advise him that let him not go with Rigathi Gachagua, at least for now. and no pun intended, at least for now, because I have just been going through the social media pages. I saw a reaction from Charles Ongondowere. Charles Ongondowere is Kasipul Kabondo MP, and he's saying, William Ruto has always had a good relationship with the Luo community. He had to act the way he did to please a particular group. We welcome him to Kisumu. Now, I looked at the comment section there, and I'm telling you, people just have grudge with Gachagua. And of course, this is because regarding the deputy president seems to still to be carrying the bitterness at the campaign trail, and what the kind of anger that he sent, that the bitterness that was meted on President Uhuru Kenyatta in Kasarani, people still feel that he's still that bitter, And of course, he was the focal person that really was against Raila Odinga, really attacked Raila Odinga all overboard. So I think it will still not work, because that tour might not achieve its merit. They might not see the genuinity of that, the honesty in that meeting. So, of course, that is my opinion, though. Now, what can this meeting achieve? That's the most important. As you think about what is in store for us, but what can this meeting achieve? Very critical issues that I want us to look at. I also don't know, and I think Miguna is saying that President William Ruto is going to remove the red alerts. Then the specific I think offices are going to process his comeback. I don't know whether when William Ruto will be coming back, by that time Miguna will be here, but I know by that time he shall have named the cabinet, so it will be very strategic to see how it goes. So this is what that meeting can achieve. Kindly subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell and like our video. Now, it will help the president forge a united front with the Nyanza leaders and avert what could be a rebellion. If there is a rebellion against his government, that rebellion can simply start from Nyanza. And maybe the intelligence might have informed. It depends on how he will package himself and how everything will be organized, and the imaging and the kind of tone and his message to the residents of Kisumu. That tour can forge a very good netted front for Nyanza. And I want to be specific that I don't think there is somewhere that was written that Luo Nyanza must be in opposition. In fact, in this government, there is going to be no opposition. Kama it's their turn to eat, and you can eat with them, just join them. And you guys eat together. Continuity on Uhuru Kenyatta's projects has been a big headache for policy strategists and stakeholders on the left side, on whether now that Uhuru started something, will the president do that? That President William Ruto's tour there will really boost on continuity of those projects, depending on how it's organized. It also boosts the inclusiveness of the region in the government. And importantly, that tour will form the tempo, the momentum, and Raila Odinga's next move. Whether he's going to tone down government, retire, or whatever he's going to do, because it will also be a very litmus test to see William Ruto to test, okay, so what is the acceptability of the government of the day? Ladies and gentlemen, that's my bold, and that's the end for today. Let's see you in my next video on 15th. That is Thursday. And for Kisumu people, azee tukaribishe tu Uhuru. Not Uhuru, tukaribishe to President William Ruto. And yeah, it's a trap, by the way. It's a trap. If things go south, the last time William Ruto was there, it was not friendly. He also didn't tour quite Nyanza during the campaign, so he's might be coming with goodies. So it's a trap. If you mess around, it goes south, then mgeni akikuja unachukua, ukishachukua ile yameleta unakaa nayo, akisharudi ndio unafungua, unasema alileta nini, unamwongelesha vibaya, mimi sikutaka hii, nileta hii, lakini ikiwa unamkaribisha. And we are known for Ruako Welo, kukaribisha again. Let's say, gentlemen, that's the end of it.